See?
Yeah, yeah, it started. I see like a lot of like black capsule. Wait, I see two pictures. First of all, I see you in your physical body right now, like your energetic body inside your physical body. Looks exactly the same like you look, except you have this interesting blue. It's like darker blue color with rope with sleeves like this, white bell sleeves with a golden belt and the golden stripes. It's like stripes are going there. And then I see another picture right here. I see Orion. I see the 3 stars of Orion belt. And then I see Aldebaran. And from Aldebaran, going like the black capsules, they are like capsule composed of cylinders, 3 cylinders with rings connecting them. It's like somebody screwed them together. They have some things. I feel like those are like radar system or whatever that is, and they also from the other side they can shoot probably some like or weapons or they shoot some rays, some waves of frequency. They can um they can shock you, yeah. So they're flying. I see 5 of them, zoom, 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 flying to Orion. On Orion, I see you there. But you came as Pleiadian to Orion to protect Orion children, Orion families. You have some sort of like a plasma sword. Pretty interesting. It's like a handle. The handle with the spikes, and it produces some blue, like it's like a plasma because it really like hits you, can make a hole in you. It can really hurt you. But it's just that you activate it with your mind. As long as you hold it in your hand, like you want, it's like an extension of your hand. But I see there is a lot of buildings there, and there are a lot of children. And I see they look like humans. They have bright blue eyes. The eyes are rather more round than oval, like not like kind of like rounded almond shape type. And they're more like crystals inside. And there are women with long silver hair standing by them, holding onto them. They have this, some of them wear some sort of capes with hoods. Others are wearing just some kind of white sparkling outfits, kind of like robe type. I see your ships parked. Some of them like octagon shaped octagon and round flat. Some of them are more like rhombical shape. They're different kinds. You came with some special ship. Your ship is that rhombical one at the end. And there are rooms inside. And you take the children there on board because it's like a war situation because they are attacking black draconians are flying through Aldebaran to attack the Orion people, the humans. They look exactly like humans, but they have silver hair. And these beautiful eyes that not like ours. Smaller noses, maybe more pronounced lips, longer necks, more like longer fingers, thin bodies, like beautiful children there. The boys have hair down to shoulders. The girls are longer, much longer, like women. And I don't see men. Men are somewhere. I got a word in my head, deployed somewhere. Like they left. They left to the other two stars on the Orion belt to prepare for the war coming. It's like the Orion War or something. Because I see how you're taking the children to Pleiades. And in Pleiades, you have this beautiful crystalline structure buildings. They're almost like swirl and swirl and swirl. They look like those long seashells pointing to the sky. You have an interesting kind of layered mountain structure. It goes in a circle around, and inside it creates some swirl of energy. It's almost like that swirl of energy is the consciousness of the planet, and you can activate it anytime to amplify the energetic outcome. It's like outburst. That's what I got. Mm, to alert everybody in the system to gather the forces. But it's like you're on the team of people who rescue others in emergency situations. Because what you do, I see what you do. So you bring the children there, they're safe. But then when you come back, you see those Dracos took over. Some Dracos are really huge. They're giant, they're very muscular. Others are, and those are green, and kind of like brown, dark brown with green mix. And then the other ones are black, shiny black, slimy when you touch them, cold, big, like dinosaur big. And then you come there and you make a twist, like a turn, and you decide to go back. You're in some sort of station. It's a big round. It's kind of interesting. It has only one. It's like a pole in the ground, in the midst of the greenery. It's like flowers, but they look different. They're like giant, huge flowers. Grass is like very tall. And there's like a pole in the middle of that field, and there's just this laboratory kind of blends in with the atmosphere, but it got metallic structure at the bottom, and it's really beautiful because it's like a mirror, but it reflects the flowers, so you can see the flowers on it. That's a floor, it's a base, and then over there's like a electromagnetic field. That's a way I can explain it because I can put my hands through it, and it's just like an energetic shield of some sort that you can change the frequency of it and make it more solid, say. But there's lots of computers around. Computers look like just screens, just flat, translucent screens, almost like holographic ones. There are some control panels but they're very large, transparent too, like glass. When you touch it with your glance, you don't touch it with your hands. You look at it and it gets like it builds up something, and you ask the system, what is that? It shows you how what systems are getting attacked. It's like a command center, and you're like the one who reports, who goes with the team of 25 people of yours, and then you come back, you report what was done, what happened. But it's like you report to the system, but I don't see who's in charge of this whole thing. I have a feeling there's like 11 commanders of some sort who patrol. Um, it's a separate side of the planet. It's kind of like in the woods, but it can be used as a spaceship, because I see like it can fly off of that support system that it's on, and it turns into a spaceship. Um, what you did is actually you did fly off. I see the big oval table in the middle. I see 11 beings like you, but they wear white robes, white glossy kind of robes. It was blue stripes, and you're going to observe, and you see how Dragos are taking people. I can only call them people. It's like they're prototypes for they took a lot of genetics from them to put it into our bodies. And they are at the observation distance from Earth. And I see how they're like shooting them through the rays of light, souls for incarnation. A lot of them. And you're the supervisor because you call yourself a supervisor. You decide to go incarnate and watch out for the souls. You're gonna be like an antenna spreading giving information to the souls, because you decided to stay connected. They even try to shoot you with their just it's like frequency disruption weapons, waves that they can shoot from the sides of those black capsule-like spaceships. But you create a sort of interesting shield. It comes from your head. It comes from your head, it spreads over, goes over. But you're mostly male energy. It's like male is dominant in you. And so I see your first incarnation, some sort of mountain. I get Mongolia, and I see like a lot of mountains, like horizon and the mountains on the horizon. And there's like little tribal people around. And I see horses. Oh no, those are donkeys actually. I see donkeys there.
Same.
Yeah. So they live with the people. They help there's some water mills or something, because there's some water coming from the mountains, and you take in the water, you're washing the children, and it's really and you also say that I see some strange thing going on then. I see some discs. I see grays on the discs. And from those discs, there's like plasma balls coming, like literally like fireballs coming from the sky, bombarding you, and you run into a big cave in the mountains to survive. And with time, if I fast forward, you kind of build like a mountain tunnel system. But then you discover there's some passageways in the mountains going down where there's some other beings live, which is like it's a look like a life of discovery almost. And these other beings say that they got down because the reptilians are trying to destroy them, trying to eat their families, trying to take them. They look very tall. They themselves look with greenish skin. They almost like they got genetically hybrid, like there's something happened to their DNA because when I touch them, I read that they got 2.8% of reptilian DNA in them. I think reptilians, what they would do, they would take their people, hybridize them in their laboratories on the spaceships or underground underground laboratories because I see them. They look more like caves, and everything looks like a metal, and it's like steel and rock. But then they would, through injections, they would do something to mutate the DNA, and they would return. It's like they would do a time loop because nobody would notice, and they would mostly take like females, and then we return them. They produce the children who already got some reptilian DNA in them, and they figure that slowly but surely they'll hybridize those people because it's weird. Some of them almost look like they have patches of that snake type skin on the backs, like where the spinal cord is. And they said that they are hiding from reptilians. I know that's a life like this, but the whole life you feel like you didn't do enough fighting or didn't do enough work to you discovered some things, you shared knowledge. Those people called you that you come from the stars. It's like it seems like that was during those times when a lot of different star star beings, like different beings, malevolent beings who would come to Earth, try to conquer it, trying to grab like a bunch of people as a group and try to convince them that they're gods from the stars and teach them something, maybe some things just like so they could survive better, but at the same time they could trust them that they're real gods, so they can create their own little religions here and there, little movements. So that's like little by little religious beliefs were created, and they started believing in those gods. Um, so that was that time. But then you come up back to that spaceship where you came from, observation. You stay there in the observatory. You even come back. You don't have a family, but you come back to check on those children. Orion Wars is still going on. It's like the time really doesn't, it's hard to explain. It doesn't coincide. It's different. There it's still going. For you, it's like you spend a lifetime of, it's 120 something years, 123 years in that tribe living there. And the war is still going. But you decide to go back because there's this on computer system, there are some codes and you can find people by codes. So you put, it's like a strip of, you get some sort of strip. It's almost like a receipt, okay? But receipt looks like hologram. The computer gives you a receipt. You put the receipt on your wrist, on your left arm here. And so you can subconsciously always remember what people you have to help, but what souls you have to have, because you're kind of searching for them at the subconscious level. Consciously, you're not aware. So the people you meet in life, the people you gravitate towards, are those people who were thrown into incarnations by those Dragos. That's what I feel. But you also see on this planet you're showing that is really what you're dreaming about a lot. It has huge yellow dandelions. They're very fuzzy and soft. And you're like a big bird there. You look like a phoenix bird almost. And you have the bright yellow and blue feathers. And there are a lot of birds there. It's like a bird planet of some sort. But that's behind the Aldebaran system. You kind of like exploration of those systems that you've done in the past or happening now, basically. But that's what I also see that. I see that you've been to some planets where mantis type beings live and they have this cream color skin with big black eyes. And I see that tall Zeta Grays took over those planets and took over those mantis beings and enslaved them because they're pretty smart. But I feel like they're positive. They're not like, they don't have this in them to do evil things. But I also feel like they mutated their DNA. I see they took off some codons, replaced them with some fake codons, twisted it in a funny way, connected differently, and they became of that reptilian kind of type mentality. It's not that they had feelings before, but they were peaceful. But now they're not. Now you're concerned about those. You're concerned about all the beings who've been influenced by any means, influenced by the evil forces. But you have 86 people, 86 codes on that strip inside your left arm, energetic arm, and your energy body. Those 86 people you promised to help by giving them the rays of information. You call them rays of hope, but you encode information into them, and that way you can wake them up. And you say everybody's working with his or her own group of people that way, because that's how it is. That's what we are. That's who we are. We have to be with others and share, constantly be sharing information. That's what this sparks the growth of consciousness in everybody. This is your 17th life. I see 16 lives, 17th. But the interesting thing, it's like you were frustrated in between those lives, because the frustration came from the idea that they would the layers that you go through, that you kind of have to agree when you incarnate in the physical body makes your memories erase, and that made you frustrated at a deep level. So basically, I'm trying to figure out why I see that energetic thing hovering over your head and back. It almost looks like white energetic layer, like made out of fog, over your head and going down like a cape down your back. And when I ask who is the ones who placed it, I see grays in there. It's like they somehow hijacked. Wait, when you go to the incarnation number 7, I see you kind of jumping into the portal that you created. It's like a passageway you created for yourself for incarnations from the spaceship that you go to and upload the information from each life to their system. And then they shoot those weapons that allocated on the sides of that um, black cigar-shaped or cylindrical ship, because they're watching too. And you get like, it's like an electric shock. You get disoriented. And you basically, you kind of fall out of, if it makes sense, you fall out of your passageway that you created for yourself, that you use for incarnations on the 7th life. And as you change direction, it goes straight to, it's like Africa, I want to say. Africa comes up. And you incarnate there. I see as a woman, blonde, blue eye, white skin. Some ambassadors building. Some British embassy or whatever that is. Yeah, because I see the British flag like you came. Your parents came from Great Britain, but you were born as a girl there, as their daughter. Sylvia and Matthew, whatever, Matt. Yeah, the parents. Dylan, your brother, you have a little brother too. And I see you as a 6-year-old, your brothers too. But that's when the grays are starting to abduct you in that life. Because you felt like out of line, out of mission. Like there's no purpose in your life. I see you as 17, 18-year-old and you're like searching, you feel deep down that you came to do something important, but you don't know what it is. And that frustration is when the grays interfere. But the grays come from your parents. The parents are already interfered with them. And the overlays that they do, it's the interesting part is they put them on the back of your head and in your head, like here and on the back. but you push it out with your energies. Energetically push them out. So they attach to you like threads. Imagine like almost like a mohawk on your head made out of energy strings, and energetically it's connected to you, and they can interfere with you, but only a little, only 20%, let's say, out of all 100 that they wanted to control you. It was about information. You carry a lot of, you've done a lot of rescue missions all around the universe, and they're interested in the knowledge about other star races that they can basically download from you, from your etheric DNA. And that's why they connected to you that way. The only thing, I see something there that is just like, it's like a cowboy or some guy. Wait, there's just some strange thing in the chest, and when I touched it, there's a guy jumped out, so it's like a disincarnated God attached to you. Because he's standing up in these boats. He said he's from Argentina. He looks like a cowboy from 1700. Hmm. Yeah, it's just the way they dress, I guess. But the best description would be a cowboy-looking person. He lost his life fighting with some other people who tried to destroy his land, his horses, his ship, his chickens, his farm. They tried to take his land. He got it's like a spear in his chest. And as a little girl there, he came to you. He told you he'll help you with the grays who would take you, abduct you as you were little. But he resonated with your energy of feeling desperate, mm, feeling not like you haven't not accomplished something that you came to accomplish. That's a feeling that life has, the frequency, and he resonated with it, so he jumped right straight into your chest to heal his own wound in his own chest. And your feeling of that not accomplished was in your chest also. That's why. I see you opening a portal for him, and I see like he's holding like a rooster in his right arm. You create like a farm for him, like a perfect farm. It's all his territory. And you ask him to raise his vibration, to feel happy. Ask him if he likes that place. He wants to go there. And he said, yeah, I want to go. That's a nice place. I love my animals. Oh, he goes there. It's like a bubble. Looks like a lotus. Um, looks like a bud of some sort of a round flower, like a circle, like a sphere. He's inside it. He created it out of his own energy sphere. So he's happy inside. He laughed. You have like space in your chest that you're filling it up with your own vibration, with your own. It's like I think that this guy was giving you a hollow, like a feeling of being not complete, not something is there. You need to discover more to understand. Hollow inside, like it's as if the whole universe is inside you, but you cannot explore it. type feeling, I guess. And you're taking off those energetic layers. You just basically like, I don't know how you did it, but it looks like you replicated the energy of your soul into some sort of layer, buffer zone, and you put that buffer zone in between the sides of your energy sphere and the surface of your energy body. And that, but there was still strings, so you took it all off and you molded it into a ball. The ball looks like a made out of fog, very porous kind of substance that they used for this particular implant. The only how they used it, they could influence it with different waves technology, and then that would apply pressure on your head, usually the back of your head or on top, and the back, the back, all your back, spinal cord going there, because it would try to infiltrate, act like an invasion on central nervous system. But you have this ability to repel things. It's like they can try, but you couldn't completely get rid of it. But you're now opening a portal and taking it out. The Greys try to inject something into your arm when they would abduct you. But that substance would go out. I literally see it going in and you repel it, like it gets repelled, gets injected up, pushed out by your own energy out. It looks like a red substance. I don't understand if it's like foreign type blood or whatever they try to infuse into you, but they didn't succeed in it. But you're like a walking library of different cultures. You have different in your DNA that has 98 strands. You have all kinds of symbols, um, like those caves, like they show us in the caves, the symbology and different. You know a lot of star travelers. I see a lot of star travelers have symbols on their second skin suits. Imagine embedded like symbology on the very close to the body latex suit. That's kind of how it looks. It's done by dots. It's dotted. It's made out of dots. There's cross. There are different things in the cross. There is flower, and there are different S symbols in the flower. Different, look kind of like letters, but they're more complex than that. They have dots, they have sticks, they have different twisted things. You're familiar with all of this. You know how to uncode it because by looking at the Star Traveler look like they're just zooming through space. I see one. He's wearing a black latex suit. That he has the gray, like tattoo type symbology on him, and you know that he comes from an Andromeda system, or he comes from uh, Alpha Centauri, Beta Centauri, Gamma Centauri. So you know which spot exactly he comes from. So it's pretty interesting. But you like traveling, and that's why you sign up on Pleiades to be on a rescue mission. So, but I see at this point that Orion Belt, they have original, can call them original humans. That what comes to me. I also see the same pretty much original humans on Venice. Um, by the way, I'm talking about real physical, you know, people. Like, so they're not energetic. They wear real clothes that you can touch and everything, but they're very advanced. There's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing makes them sick. Things like that. They're very, very advanced in technology too. They they all create their own ships around themselves. It's like they turn into this vortex of energy and they can build the ship outside of themselves. They can shape and shift it into any size they want, and they create everything inside the control system they want, how they want to control it. They can create manual control if they wanted to, but you say that it's like a stone age for them, so they won't. Yeah. So they're different kind of like mm, the bubble of creation that we call Earth. There's a lot of souls stuck in the bubble, but the bubble is getting popped. It's getting deflated now. That's what you said to me. Mm, it's a bubble of fake creation too. It's covering with layer of soap. I don't know why you're explaining that way, but that's what you're saying. It's like a thick layer of soap. It's sticky and yucky, you say, that you wash it off with water of the original Earth, because the original Earth is water planet. You just wash it all off, and the original, mm, the energy from the inside is gonna go as rays of light into each and every body who's ready to accept it and be with it. And the earth is like asking, are you with me? Do you want to continue journey on me? Um, to feel how it is to be on the original earth, which is free and not interfered by viruses, bacteria, parasites, and all that. Or you want to stay with that parasitic system. And we're like, see that the people who want to stay, they already, you say they already, like, it's like shedding occurs. It's like a layer that, like ice on water on the lake, it just breaks, and they are standing on the piece of ice that broke off the original Earth. So they're just going to stay there and observe and maybe wake up if they wanted to. But it's gonna hit them hard, the realization. Some of that are not gonna be able to comprehend, but the others who will might help them out if they're willing to open their. It's like the heads look like boxes. If they open the lid of the box to absorb the information, they will not go away. Otherwise, they will go away, but that's their choice. So your DNA is clean. Yeah, no. There's no hybrids or clones, but you know how to project yourself in different realities. You really do. You actually, what you do when those people asleep at night, you project yourself to them as some sort of teacher whom they recognize, and you just teach them something, and they don't remember in the morning, but it's recorded in subconscious. What you teach them is you just remind them about themselves, and then they keep that knowledge inside, and it speeds up their process of waking up so they can they can do the same you did or others did, and aids them big time.
I feel a lot of people around me are actually starting to wake up, like recently.
Yeah, because you like to spin, you like to create this vortex of energy, and it's inside you. It's like your core, and it spins with this bright blue light, and it just spreads. The faster you spin, the faster it spreads. It's like when you drop a rock into water, it goes like rings, spreading. So it's kind of like that. You're like a radar system in the body. So, but one radar system activates the other radar systems. In the whole, we kind of like when you see somebody in front of you doing it and looking around, everybody's doing it. So you lose the fear and you start to understand something they're doing is the right thing to do. Type thing. It just everything is awakening from a like winter dream of some sort. That's what you have this comparisons. Very interesting because you're showing me it's like the spring comes and the spring flowers emerge from snow. That's what's bound to happen here. So, but yeah, you can you basically like shoot a spark from your heart. That spark reconstructs by your DNA your original shape and form, and you can project yourself to even to that controls. You know, you participate in all the meetings, Pleiades, you come to this spaceship to give them information, what's going on. Because the problem is all the layers of spaceships and there's a lot of nets put together by grays. I see a lot of grays around actually. From that observation point of your spaceship, I see lots of spaceships filled with those tall grays. They're all observing. Because at this point, it's almost like they're kind of afraid of something is about to happen, and they know it well. And they invested so much in their traps and creations of control. They almost like they don't understand it's gonna fail to the extent that actually it is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like weird. It's like, but I created it, but it's my thing. But they don't get it that they copied it, but it's automated system that they all they do is copy. So machine, I think that I almost feel like they're gonna self-destruct or something at some point here.
Hmm.
All of them, all these beings, domino effect. They're all gonna start. So they control the minifigures. They're the puppeteers of the puppets whose faces we know as government members. Those are gonna get scared. When they get scared, the puppeteers get scared.
Hmm. I think that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So, and that's why they're kind of staying away, absorbing. But everybody's observing because that's everybody's right to observe. So it's like the benevolent beings are preparing a parade, a stage for the parade and celebration, while those are still observing. They don't understand what's going on. I want to say they're really dumb. They're stupid.
That are super arrogant.
Yeah, because it's like They knew that at some point the consciousness would grow and outsmart them, but they're still in disbelief, shock stage of whatever. Because you know why? They're not connected to the source. The source is us, creators. So they don't understand that creators are the ones who created everything. At the bottom of the soul, us, not them. They can only copy creation and overlay it with false creations programmed by them. But then, if the ones who are suppressed finally realize how they are suppressed, they can undo the whole system. They can detonate the whole fake creation, which is happening now.
Mm.
The whole game is, you know what? Like, we're very smart as creators. We set up the game so that we knew if it gets hijacked, the hijackers would pressure more and more to get more juice out of get more energy out of it to feed themselves, because they also multiply. We multiply, they multiply, they need to feed themselves. And then by in that multiplying, they lose control over us because we outnumber them, uh, hundreds of times outnumber them. And that's the only thing they didn't understand when they put too many creators together. And the creators, to begin with, knew that anybody who would try to take over any creation would get to the point of is too much pressure applied to them. So when too much pressure is applied to anybody, that anybody would see the truth at some point. Some are too stubborn to see the truth, but that's just their path. They want to explore more. It's almost like you're saying, but sometimes some souls want more extremes. It's kind of like people. They like extreme sports. Some souls
Mm-hmm.
choose the extreme paths. Like some heavy turbulations have to happen to them for them to get that adrenaline rush. That's explanation.
Mm-hmm. I know some of those souls.
Yeah. So, but once again, that's their way. They wanted it to do that, and they wanted even to try to be in the shoes of those who agree to the system, but then they would pull themselves out from that group of the people who agree to the system, and they would put together themselves together with the other opposition group because they want to experience both camps of both mentalities. So
Mm.
that's a choice. There are going to be people who are also walking over that, division line. I see it like a street with a yellow line in the middle. There's just people who are like with the system, there's people who are against the system. And people with the system at some point would understand that they're smaller, they're minority. And then they're starting to think like, well, if they're majority, there's got to be something true about what they're saying. So they would start going over the yellow line crossing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's happening now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, well, mm, you basically what you did, that you changed the timeline when they shocked you and they took you away from your passage, from your own portal that you created for yourself. You blocked that ray of light from their spaceship. So that didn't happen. Then the Greys never abducted you when you were little in Africa. And then you also gave the information to everybody in Mongolia mountains. So They know to go to other place, and they know how to put like invisibility cloaks on themselves, because you use that a lot too. You have that that's why some of you people wear those cloaks. Those are invisibility ones. It's just some technology that makes your molecular structure turn into nothing like air. It kind of camouflaged with the environment. Whatever it is you're in, it camouflages for that.
I wish I had that now.
Right. Yeah. Well, but you know all this. I mean, you're just standing there and saying to me, "Oh, I know all the guys who came from our constellation. I know all the other ones. I know the travelers. I know the historical fact collectors. I know, I know the fake history museum slash library, which is Akashic Records one. I see a lot of grays on there, by the way. There's Akashic Records and reptilians walking around. But there's also the original one that they copied this idea from. Original belongs to the creators of this universe, creators of the solar system, to us. So, see, when they hijacked the system, created their fake astral system with all these spirit guides and angels and all the helpers, guardian angels and whatnot. So it's like they connected this big building with lots of columns um, to those platforms of fake creations to deceive people, making them believe that this is heaven for this religion, this heaven for that religion, and so on. Whatever that is, even if you don't believe in any religion, there is heaven for you there too, and it's a fake one also. So it just so they make sure you return back to another incarnation. But yeah, you know how the system works.
Mhm. So angels and spirit guides and stuff, that's all part of the whole religion, all that
Mm-hmm.
fake stuff that they use to control us
Right, it's
with
like they
fear.
created the fake layer of, you know, fake overlay on this little piece of Earth. So it's like, imagine you take a planet, you put a fence around some little area, create a farm, put the souls inside the animal forms, like they put souls inside the body they created, this human body, unplugged a lot of things. So we are just like, we're like little children, don't know where we are, what we are doing, memories lost, you know. Um, and then started building up more layers. So there's this layers like we see the skies, but the skies are really, what are the those clouds? They're just spaceships all over the place observing us, like a big laboratory of spaceships all around, you know, cloaked as clouds. And then there's higher level than that, which is like platforms with different, I see them divided into huge rooms, like imagine huge rooms, and each room has like, well, you get everything you want. You want the mountains and the ocean, here you got it. You want the woods, you got that one. You want the Jesus on the throne, here you got him. Or you want, Krishna or whatever, you got him. Whatever that is you want, it's all there. But because of these layers, it's hard to get through it, because your consciousness that you acquired and your knowledge that you acquired through by living that physical life already programmed you. You're in box. You're boxed up. You're just, okay, well, religion, heaven or hell, and that's it. That's all you know. You don't know that there's much higher, that you can actually go all the way back to your original place where you came from as a creator being. So, and
But
then
what
they,
and how does that? What's have to do with our DNA? Is it because our DNA has been altered or unplugged, or we're just not functioning as well as we should be?
Our DNA is the currency of the universe. It's like money for them. They exchange it for anything they need, usually technology. It's very precious. It's like a disk filled with information about everything you can possibly want to know from the lives and experiences we've had on different planets, in this universe or galaxies or whatever. And the DNA carries the characteristics, and the characteristics can be used and infused with cloned bodies, with hybrids. You can create an army of hybrids who would work for you to conquer other universes, to fight for you, to be your slaves, mm, to be superhuman, super soldiers, super anything, you know. So that's why they would they would literally take our DNA and try to experiment. It's kind of like, look what's happening on Earth. We're breeding different animals, just to make money. You create this tiny little, you know, tiny little bunny that has all kinds of genetic problems, and most of them die anyway, but humans are so curious to create this little pocket bunny. How cute is that? But the breeding programs, they have the same breeding programs for humans, and let's see what happens if we connect the animals with human DNA, or this and that, or the grays in human DNA, and here we got this kind of type human with this kind of skin, this kind of eyes, and it's just forever. The experiment on us, as we experiment on the animals. And if we stopped experimenting on animals, we would get much higher in consciousness right there, and they would lose their control over us at that point. Hmm. So, yeah, you raised your vibration to the peaceful. You're saying I'm a peaceful fighter. Mm, but yeah, you want to see celebration. Everybody at the point now wants to see the celebration. So, but yeah, you can ask questions if you want to. I don't see anything else.
Let's see here. Let's see here. So, would you know is if after this lifetime, if I'm going to reincarnate again, or is this it?
You don't want to reincarnate again. Your whole point
No.
was just to come here to spread information, to see the celebration at the end, big party a little and come back.
So is this party going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, party is definitely gonna happen, and they know about it. They used all kinds of technology to see it. They thought they still believed somehow that they could change the timeline.
But it can't be changed, can it?
Mm-mm, they cannot. They're like running for their lives, and they're replacing themselves with clones at this point.
Well, that's amazing. That's great to hear that. Tell me about the moon. Is it an actual? What is with the moon? Is it a spying device? Is it going to go away sometime? Do we need it?
It's a control center, an experimental center, and the center where all the malevolent beings get together and you know mm, put together their agenda, how they are, what they're gonna do with humanity and to humanity. how they're gonna use souls and where it's gonna go. But no, well, right now it's like there's still a lot going on there. I see like a lot of negative beings there on the moon. And it's like a giant spaceship. They can actually activate it and they can fly away. That's what I see.
Oh my.
Yeah, they can fly away to other universe if they wanted to.
So I hear a lot about something called the new Earth or the fifth dimension, sixth and seventh and eighth and ninth and 10th dimension. What
Mm.
is? Can you explain that? Like, what exactly is the new Earth? Is it just just a different way of thinking?
It's like different consciousness levels, right? So some of us reach the consciousness of our original selves, which could be any dimension, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever, right? And that's all about that. So the consciousness, once the consciousness is kind of got to that point and reconnected back and got the memories back, which is going to happen, it's bound to happen. We're going to get our memories back. Um, and then all of a sudden, your consciousness starts creating a different body.
Oh,
Because we shape our body, we can absolutely shape and shift our body with our minds. It's just that our DNA has to be, active. But for that to be active, it has to resonate with the frequency of this space around us, which is huge electromagnetic field around us. It's not thin air, it's electromagnetic field. The frequency of that has to resonate with the frequency of consciousness. That's when you can shapeshift your body into what you want it to be. And I believe that even without the technology, we can make ourselves younger or regenerate our organs or do stuff like that just with our mind. But it's going to be based on your knowledge and understanding, on your consciousness, what dimension you are, and also what dimension you connect to. So it's not what people think. People think that it's some sort of like a world and it says 5D on it and they're going to be in that world. But
yeah.
it's not like that.
I wanted to ask about maybe some people that are around me. Would they be from past lives, or would they be some of these souls from the 86 that I carry around with me? Would that be possible?
A lot of them are. I see number 13. If 13 in this live that you met, like personally, others you just send information to by projecting like a hologram of yourself, holographic image of yourself to them in their dream state. And you kind of like take them to the moment when you show them the movie. You created some sort of like film for them to watch. Hey, see, that's how they grabbed you. That's how they got you. Do you want to get back? And then when they say, yeah, we want to get back, and then you'd give them instructions. Here, that's what you have to do. To get back, you have to wake up first to understand how it works. And that's what you did. I see like, it's like you shoot sparks to them. Each spark has a fractal of you, which is a holographic image of you, with all the information needed. And then it just goes to the right destination. Um, because you know their codes, see the matrix, it's like everybody has a code to it, physical, and you know the codes of their physical bodies, they inhabit it in this life. So, but these codes mean nothing after you left the body. It just the body was the code left behind. So there's no reason to, it's just the way everything's encoded here. Every animal, everything that is alive and has consciousness has a code to it in the matrix. It's like algorithms, like a grid of algorithms. Because without that grid, your eyes and your brain connected to your eyes would not process and create a picture in front of you. You would see a blank. You would not see the reality you see.
Wow, that's complex.
Mm-hmm.
What about animals? So are they like like the animals that are around us that we may feel connected to? Are they past lives, like souls from another planet, or is that a different thing for animals?
The animal planets.
Huh.
There are, I've seen before dog planet, cat planet. I see planets with mixed animals. And those animals are miniature versions of the animals that will live with on other planets. I've seen, like, let's say, bunnies that you can ride as a horse. Like you can
My
hop on
goodness.
his back. Yeah.
Oh, kind of like the movie Avatar, like that.
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now from my memory, I hit this session that was really funny. It was like literally like insects and squirrels talking to me, and they were as high as me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were like telepathically telling me, "Come on, join our cafe." And it's almost like, yeah, I was actually with somebody in that session, so otherwise I would definitely think that I were hallucinating because we were both laughing. But yeah, that's what we think is our imagination is actually the true real thing.
Really?
And it's the opposite. What we see here is a total hallucination. People
That's
should
just
not be
incredible.
living this way. Nobody should be living this way we live.
It feels wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Inverted, sick, um, you know,
Mm.
in, environment and reality and
Very negative
right.
control system.
Mm.
Mm. Interesting. What about the souls of my parents and my sisters and stuff like that? Is it somehow connected in a different lifetime, or is it just completely random?
Your sister's a star traveler?
I
Was a
have
very,
three.
yeah, but I see one with like curly hair and I think it's green eyes, like darkish. It's got the curly long hair, is like really fluffy. But I see her as a star traveler. I can, but she's got blue skin, little nose. I see her profile and she's like flying through space. I think that's your middle sister, because the middle came. Like if
Okay.
you put them together.
I have one. Well, I'm the youngest, so I have three older sisters.
Oldest, yeah. But yeah, if you start from the 1, 2, 3 before you, then that'll be the middle one. The oldest feels like some sort of authority or some sort, like just kind of a feeling. Mm,
You say authority?
yeah, like on command with something, with some group or something that was
That sounds like
captured. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You give her some information. She's got some black ants standing in behind her. The group was taken over. It's like a group of beings that fly through space. They form like this square and they fly like birds in a square.
mm,
It's almost like they're all like some sort of experiencers, like they like to experience different things. Because the other sister at the bottom, she's the one who likes to experience different lives on different star systems. So she'd go back and forth. And she said that she was curious about Earth, but some malevolent beings got her attention. And next thing she knows, she's incarnated as a baby. Because all they asked her, do you like Earth? And she said, I think I do, but I'm not sure. But that I think I do gave them the permission to take her. She looks like a little
Huh.
ball with the spikes.
A
Like,
little ball with spikes.
yeah, like soul, like yellow, with like rays looking like spikes. With the spikes not like needles, but they have the round things on top, like dandelion type thing. Yellow fuzzy. She's like not experienced. Mm, she's actually quite surprised she ended up here.
Hmm.
I see
So
her being.
the one, the kind of middle sister is sort of just figuring things out. She's a little slower to wake up.
Mm, yeah, I'm talking about the youngest. The youngest is totally like 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 in a dream that she cannot comprehend type thing. Um, your parents seem to be like the ones that you saved them before somewhere. Venus. There's some people from Neptune in your family cluster. There's quite a few. I see the planets of our solar system lighting up for me, and I clearly see that they've been all populated with humans. They have different skin color, they have different hair and eye color, but all of them, all of them are mixed with like very bright white skin and blonde hair, blue-eyed people. But then there are other kinds, types.
Are the blue-eyed blonde hair, are those mostly the Palladians, or doesn't really matter?
Those are like the original humanoid form of this universe. Let's say like that. That's a regional, like you plant an original form. From that original form, the mutation somehow happens naturally. Because that original form, if you plant it in different planetary systems influence the mutation slowly of that form. So they it's kind of like they kind of slightly change the skin color because they got the purple sun or the blue sun or the yellow sun, or you know what I mean. And then the color of the eyes change, and then the hair is the same kind of way. The skin gets bluish from the ultraviolet, or it stays white, and or it gets darker. You know what I mean? It's like that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Is there
Oh,
any way of knowing where they are now? Like where my parents would be now? Well, my mother's still alive. She's almost 90. And my dad passed away about 5 years ago or so, 5 or 6 or 7.
he's flying on some disc, but it's a half disc. Imagine a spaceship that is half disc. That's how I see it. It's kind of
Okay.
interesting too because it's orange, yellow, blue, and like silver inside. And the control panel is like where the disc is cut. He said he got out no problem. He said it was a tough one. You had to. He said the funny thing. He said I had to turn myself into a mouse and eat through the cheese, make little holes through the layers of the dome. Kind of funny.
Oh, that's strange. Hmm.
Yeah. No, he figured out. He said he was wandering around for a while. He said, I met a lot of people you would not believe. They're literally groups of people who don't know how to leave, who got stuck. They don't want to
Where are
go
these?
to fake platforms and they don't want to go back to Earth. But they're stuck because they are connected, still connected to the Earth level through some physical or not or biological objects, which would be family members, or he said like some stupid things, believe it or not, like rings or, you know, the house or something like this. He said, but
Yeah.
the problem is when you're connected to the house, you become a ghost in this house, and that's what you don't want to do. And he said, like, I figured out stuff from these disincarnated individuals, and I decided to just go. So I turned myself into a fireball and burned through the layers. He said the mouse thing was a joke.
Hmm.
He's in this flannel shirt in like pants, standing in front of me. He said I dressed myself up so you don't freak out, because I kind of look different now. It's really funny. He does look different now.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Your mother said that she just wants to see the triumph. That's what she says.
The what? The
She
triumph?
says, yeah, that the she's saying she's asking, I just like when is the end of this Olympic Olympic Games? When is the end of it? She's saying the situation here is like Olympic Games, you know. It's pretty funny. Yeah,
She's
she
putting
says,
this
well,
out enough.
yeah, well, you know, she's rather like she's not like speaking. She's not really willing to. She's not like talkative type. As I observe her sitting, she's sitting some sort of like it's almost like a wooden throne type thing chair. But she says, well, you know, when your body doesn't do what you want it to do, you're kind of starting to figure maybe you should go. But before you go, you want to see the show, and the show is
That
now.
sounds exactly like her.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all want to see the show.
right.
So the show is this like equivalent to the biblical times, like the tribunals and the revelations and the Bible and the cult religion and that sort of thing, or
The
does
biggest,
this have nothing to do with that?
well, your subconscious just said the biggest show on earth. We all came here. You're saying above the soul, we all came here to see it. Think from
Hmm.
that perspective. Think of it from a perspective of the mega huge giant creator being. Your energy has no limit. Think from that perspective. Isn't it cool to see the end of the game in a positive way?
That's exactly what we're all waiting for. And then
Right.
where do we go? Like where do we go from here? We just shift our consciousness into a better state, or like where are we going?
You just told me we're going back to the woods and donkeys and horses.
Am I going to see the guy there with the spear, the 1700s cowboy?
He's enjoying himself and his creation of, farm. Uh, he's not sure if he's gonna incarnate, but he feels pretty good now, finally. I say he was kind of squeezed in the body. He wanted you to do some things, but you wouldn't do them. So he got annoyed with you.
Do some things like what?
He said it would be nice to use that. He's showing some like it's like a tall green grass with the brown on top. He said that they used to smoke that stuff in Argentina. He doesn't know I don't know what the yeah, I don't you know. He's just like I wanted her to smoke that to feel this state because I can't find people who do it anymore. You know, it's just this like funny stuff he's saying.
Am I gonna
Well,
go back to my original?
oh yeah, you're gonna fly back. But you're already out there. You're traveling back and forth just so your conscious mind doesn't really see it yet, but you will.
So I used to have these reoccurring dreams for like almost my whole life, and basically they would just be I was always running, running, but the scenery was the same, and nothing ever changed.
To save
You know, like
others. You're on call.
it,
You're on the team of, you're on call and you're running to save others. That's your purpose in all the lives, basically. Your subconscious trying to tell you through dreams.
and then another one I would jump and bounce, and I would bounce like I don't know, like 50 feet in the air, and then I'd fly for a bit and land and bounce and jump another 50 feet in the air. And then when I wake up and I put my feet on the ground, I was so disappointed because gravity is just,
Right.
I just didn't have that bounce.
You remind yourself what you can do when you're not bound by the physics of the earth that they implanted into the system. Yeah. We all have dreams like that. It's like, don't forget who you really are. You can do all these things. They're real. It's like a rebellion of your soul, Soul doesn't want to be in this heavy body.
No, I want to be in a body that has, can be telepathic or just, lighter and has more
Right.
knowledge or.
hmm Yeah, we have to break the system. It's getting to the breaking point. It has to be broken. That's when you feel so empowered, you can ignite. It's almost like the ignition happens from us. Our DNA is going to get activated from us because all of a sudden we all like celebrating. Oh, look what we've done. We did it. We can do anything. If we did that, anything is possible, you know?
Yes. Yeah, and everyone's happy and vibrating high, and things are, people are positive, and
Right. Mm-hmm.
really looking forward to that time.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying, but I like saw this queen's picture, face, Elizabeth, the England,
Queen
Queen of
Elizabeth.
England, and she like was smeared in the sky, like dissipated. First she turned into reptilian face and then just disappeared in the sky, like, and you said, see, it was all a dream. It was just a dream.
Well, we all know so.
It's like your subconscious telling you, your conscious, your physical part, see, it's all a dream. You know, don't take it too seriously. Hard to not to take it seriously when your physical body constantly bombarded by all this nonsense. Pretty funny though.
How old do we live when we're on other planets besides this one?
300,
It kind of
400 years. It's just in general like that. That's what I've seen. But it's
So would you,
because past that, I mean, you can live longer if you wanted to, but past then you kind of feel like, I've had enough experience.
and then you move on to a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you want
is it true
different
that,
body.
pardon me?
Or you want a different body. If you be in a male body, you want a female body, or you want to be amphibian this time and live in water, something like this.
So we'll forever, because energy never dies, right? So we just keep moving.
Right. Just keep swimming.
So there's one other person I'm going to ask you about. It's a person that I've had a relationship with on and off for about 7. Well, actually, I say 7 years, but it's probably been more like 12. And he started off being, a nice person, and then super negative, and then I had to break up with him. We got back together, and
Because he's in the capsule, he doesn't have his energy body in his physical body. He's underground facility, military, reptilians, grays, and his energy body is in there, in the capsule with some gas.
oh, so it's not in his actual physical body?
No, well, his physical body is here with like a 10% of energy going into to kind of keep it alive. He's running through programs. They take like parts of him and experiment on or use for genetic manipulation research, whatever that is. I see microscopes. I see a big room. I see like hybrids in the tanks. And it's like they use his energy body for also taking him out and inserting different like implants. They look like complex systems or something like this. Basically, he doesn't really belong to himself. So.
He was very negative for a while there, like just like a black cloud hanging over all the time, but like a nice person, but something's just off with him.
Because they took his energy body at some point, they extracted it from the physical. He signed some sort of contract that was related either to money, a position, or something like this. That's what I feel, something matrix related.
Is he gonna get it back?
You pass the information to him. He's in it's like a stasis pot. It's filled with gas. It's not any goo or any gel, it's just gas of some sort. He's like in a dream. He's like in this weak state when you're in bed and you want to get off of the bed but you can't, type thing. He cannot pull himself together to think straight. You gave him information. It's kind of this situation is rather complex because they're like really standing there controlling. Yeah, the whole thing. You need to get his permission. His permission is you have to get on the physical level, and then you can do something about it. Because it's hard to connect with him telepathically because he's not conscious.
Oh, I see. Hmm. How do you get his permission physically?
I don't know, call him, tell him. Like he can do a session, he can go all the way back before they extracted his body and energy body out of his physical, and you can go to that moment right before it happened and prevent and change the timeline. So they never did it. So it would just bounce back to him, like as if it never happened.
Okay. There's nothing like that in my past lives that needs to be changed, or just the
No, you're not
tentacles come.
fractured. Mm-mm. You're very solid. You're actually very clear-minded too, because then nobody ever fragmented you or anything.
There's no clones of me out there.
No, you just project yourself all over the place.
That's a handy skill.
Yeah. Well, have any other questions?
I really don't think so.